What's up, guys? It's TSM over here, and today we are literally going to break down how I was able to get funded in just one particular day. And even though we've smashed this particular thing over and over again previously, but today I'm literally going to break down how I was able to do this in just one day and how you can be able to do this, right? So stick to the end of this particular video if you're looking to be able to do this too, right? And if you're new to this particular YouTube channel, don't forget to like and subscribe and click in the link in this particular video description to be part of our free Telegram community. So for our free Telegram community, we were able to carry out a couple of flips where we actually take little capital all the way to something significant, right? And for today, we were able to do 100 all the way to 5K, right? The initial target was practically 3K, but price actually did expand like crazy, and we were able to do this, right? So the link is right here in this particular video description if you're looking to be part of a free Telegram community. All right, so the first thing I actually did was to understand what was in play, right? And when I talk about that, so we see right here, price has been running bullish. Price was actually going bullish all the way to the upside, right? And we actually did see a significant retracement. Now we actually did have a couple of levels which was called right there in the private community, where we scale all the way to the 4 hour time frame, right? On the 4 hour time frame, we actually did call this buy and we actually did call this particular short, right? And we anticipated a further buy all the way to the upside, which price failed to tap into. Now, how I was able to do this, right? So if you actually take a look at this, you can actually see that we had a mini structure, which is not really clean. You get me right. We actually did have this particular level right here. Now, a lot of persons might actually agree with me that this level is not really clean, right? But I would prefer to call this the left shoulder, and we actually had a high, a head right here, and then price came back, right? So let's say in respect to structure, we made a higher high, price came back right here into this previous structural point, right? So I will call this a head and shoulder pattern. But again, I prefer to call this a QML because we actually did have the presence of price giving us a clean expansion all the way to the upside. We actually did have something like this, something of this sort, right? We did see this low and then price met this high, okay? So this is more like a typical QML pattern, okay? And then we anticipated a further expansion. So this is a typical QML pattern, also a head and shoulder pattern, also a triple bottom, right? And if I also switch to the line chart right here, I can see that this was practically the level, which was more very much significant that this was a valid QML, right? So this was the level I actually did map out still, we refined this, and how did we actually refine this, right? Now remember we actually did have a level all the way at this particular point, which we always do look at for confirmations, as I always do tell those in the private community. I have specific rules and criteria which I always make sure that they must be present before I decide to either take a buy or take a sell. So in this particular case, we actually dodged the bullet. And if we scale to the lower time frame, right, in order to see the previous trades taken, right? We actually did call this by right in the private community. That's we ended last week with a couple of good trades, right? Having two wins of the 4 hour levels, and then we actually did have over the one is 14 on this, and the one is to 13 on this, right? So these are literally of the daily level. So we actually called this buy, and this was the buy we called with a confirmation, right? And we actually called this particular sell right there in a community, and then price tapped into this and expanded with literally no entry criteria present. So we actually did miss taking our entries on this particular sell. Our price dropped all the way down to the refined level. So if I'm looking to refine this, right? Remember the QML pattern was literally present on the 4 hour time frame. So I'm literally going to skip all the way to the 15 minutes chart, or let's say, yeah, the 15 minutes chart to actually keep it simple. Um, I don't literally just want to rush down, right? Now, on this particular 15 minutes chart, I want to make sure that the QML has an immediate demand level nested below it, right? So this is a QML level right here, and below this, we actually do have our demand zone, right? So as I actually did say, if you are looking for a valid QML, right, or you're looking to scale it from a QML level, so if price makes this, and then we actually have this high, you actually want to make sure price comes back up a little bit, okay? which should not, it should literally make sure it exceeds the previous level to the left side a little bit, right? So with price running all the way up a little bit, this is us tapping directly into a supply listed on the lower time frame, right? So we do see that this was a significant structure, right? And price tapped into this demand level. Now with price tapping into this demand level right here, we can't say, all right, let's just hop in. We actually don't make use of limit orders, which I've always said right there in the private community and in my previous YouTube videos, right? Again, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And you can also check the link in this particular video description to be part of our free Telegram community. The price actually did give us a structural play, right? So as we can see right here, price tapped into this, and we were pretty much looking out for the presence of the 30 minutes, right? So since we actually did have the 15 minutes give us an exhaustion point right here, we pretty much wanted to see the 15 minutes structural come in, right? So we do see price made this high, higher low, and then we actually made this higher high. Before price actually made this higher high, I told everyone in the community that we are literally expecting this, right? And every single evidence, or let's say the before and after, is literally right there in the free Telegram community, right? So we actually anticipated this. Now, what made this structural play different from this was the fact that if we apply the rule of our timing, right, we can see that this actually happened during the Asian section, and this was literally coming up during the morning hours, or let's say early Asian section, right? This happened during the midnight close, and it was literally in, let's say, that particular time of the day, which you actually don't want to trade in respect to this section, right? But now, with this being said, we actually did not look to scaling right from this particular point. This was literally 5:45 a.m. my time, so I was literally not on the chart, right? So if I actually look further, we actually did have the structural play during the um, London section window, right? So in this particular case, after price actually presented this and we actually clicked into the London section window, I only had to like look out for a 30 minutes engulfing candle, which I pretty much do always tell those in the community that this is the confirmation we look out for. Price actually presented the 30 minutes engulfing candle and nested below it or inside a 30 minutes is always going to be an external pattern right there. Okay, so in respect to this, we actually do see a valid one right here. We actually do see a valid structural point where we have price give us a key level, drops into this, and then we come back all the way to retest this, right? Straight up into this 1 minute, right? Into this refined level, the 5 minutes demand, right? And we did take our entry right here where we actually did apply a 27 pip stop. And so I took it right there. So if you look at the free Telegram community where I sent in this particular trade breakdown, we actually did have our entry running over and over, right? So this was literally the trade which we actually did take right there. This is it. This was the foresight code right there in the private community, and this was a trade which we use which actually cleared the phase one right there. Okay, so this was the trade that cleared the phase one, and we were able to like capitalize on the forward continuation, right? So going back to the chart, we actually did see the price up to this during late London section, right? I think this was literally around this was literally around 12 my time. Okay, price tapped into this, and we actually did have the presence of a continuation, which we actually take the second one of this, right? So how did we actually frame this? We actually did frame this using the easiest method still. After price presented this daily play, we expanded all the way to the upside, and on the 4 hour time frame, we printed a bullish engulfing candle, which is pretty much going to signify that buyers are in control, right? So after every single 4 hour engulfing candle, we always look for the presence of a 30-minute structural play in line with price. Okay, so we actually did scale all the way to the 30 minutes. After price tapped into this 4 hour engulfing candle, right? We actually would see for the 30 minutes that we actually did print, this hidden engulfing candle. Again, everyone in the community know what a hidden engulfing candle is. Let's printed this, and if we scale to the 5 minutes time frame, we actually did see the presence of price tapping straight up into a 5 minutes demand, right? Nested inside the 30 minutes hidden engulfer. So all of this particular method I have broken down over and over again right there in the free Telegram community, and I make sure that foresight have been shared right there to the private community, right? So this is how I was able to do it. Like it all revolves around engulfing candles, and if you can be able to like go through the previous videos and incorporate it, you'll be able to like smash this, right? So you want to click on a link in this particular video description to actually, follow up on every single thing in respect to the journey and this prep challenge and in every single flip being carried out right there in the community. See you guys. Have a beautiful, profitable guy.